Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Raw Energy Healing. My name is Jess, and I created this Raw Energy Healing business a couple of years ago. This is my first video here, and so I just wanted to introduce myself so that you can get to know me a little bit and get to know sort of where I'm coming from and why I made this channel and what I'm going to be doing. So again, my name is Jess. Welcome. And if you're here and you stay here and you subscribe and you listen to me and you enjoy what I have to say, then I consider you family. So welcome. So I'll just get right into it. And first, I just want to clear a little bit of energy here for me and for you, my collective people. Always clearing the space, calling in spirit for our highest good. I also like to call in spirit to sort of help direct me to get the messages out to the people that need to hear them. So anyway, again, thanks and welcome. My name is Jess. I am 49 years old, and I started my spiritual journey knowingly, probably in about 2019, 2020, somewhere in there. Unknowingly, I started a spiritual awakening, probably somewhere around 2017, and I found that out later by a medium that I went to see, who said that I had started my spiritual awakening in 2017, and she actually had corrected me. And when I thought about it, I was like, oh yeah, that makes so much sense, because 2017 for me was a very pivotal year. I made a huge decision. I stepped outside my comfort zone and got out of a relationship that I wasn't supposed to be in. So at that point in time, that began my spiritual awakening, and it wasn't until a few years later when I realized, sort of the direction my life was heading and things were changing and that sort of thing. And so I just sort of followed that path. Kind of spent a couple of years sort of questioning, like COVID hit and once that happened and, things changed for everybody. So around the beginning of 2021, may have been late 2020, but definitely 2021, where I started questioning, like, what am I doing? What's my purpose? How do I find out? And so that sort of began my learning experiences with energy healing and beyond. But I'm going to backtrack a little bit, because I remember a time when I was younger. So in my early 20s, I lost both of my parents, sort of back to back. My mom got very sick, and she ended up passing away at the age of 40, and I was in my early 20s. And then not even a couple of weeks after she passed away, my dad told us that he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer and had about 6 to 18 months left to live. Shocking news, as we had just lost our mom. So my brother and I, and my little sister from my dad and his new wife. So that was my early 20s. Was a really heavy time for me. And then, once my dad passed away, after that I started questioning my life. Like, there has to be more to this. Like, why am I even here? Why am I dealing with all of this at such a young age? And on top of that, I was a single mom. So it was heavy. It was a lot. And really, in order to survive through that, I guess unknowingly, and naturally, I just started focusing on taking care of everyone else, making sure my brother was okay, and the family, and, my son, and just, really putting my energy into other people. And to me, that felt normal. I'm a caretaker by nature. I love caring for people. I love making people feel seen and heard, and that's always been in my nature. So that's why this path for me has really come full circle at this time, and just learning how to help people in a different way, in a more meaningful way, for them and for me. So going through all of that, it took me, 20 years to get to this point where I'm like, a lot of healing happened, a lot of realizations happened, because for those 20 years, I mean, a little less than that, but, for almost 20 years after losing my parents and trying to figure it out and asking, why am I here? What's my purpose? I started trying to find it without really knowing that that's what I was doing until much later. And I also realized that I was minimizing the trauma that I went through with that whole experience with both of my parents. Like, I really spent the majority of my life being proud of myself for being so emotionally strong that I can get through anything. And that sounds great. And that's what carried me through. But then once I started healing, I realized that, because I told myself it really wasn't that big of a deal because I handled it so well emotionally, and everyone always told me that how well I handled it. And there were people that were like, I'm waiting for you to break down. And I never, ever did. And so like I said, I prided myself on just being very emotionally strong through all of that. And then I realized it was my flight or fight response kicking in to take care of me through that time. And I just always said, yeah, I'm strong. I can get through anything. And there are so many more people that are struggling so much more than I am. Like, who am I to complain about anything? But then I learned that all trauma, regardless of how small or large you think it may be, is trauma. Trauma is trauma. Feelings are feelings. Emotions are emotions. And we tend to hold on to them. We tend to suppress them by being strong for everybody else and not going through the grieving process properly and all of that kind of stuff. And so that's sort of my background with trying to figure out what all of this is about, what life is about, and what we're supposed to be doing with this one life that we're living. And so there are so many topics and so many rabbit holes that we could go down, and we'll get there because I plan on talking about a lot of it. But I just want you to know where I'm coming from and know a little bit about me to understand that, you're not alone, and there are people out there. And hopefully my goal here is to just build a community of people that, need some help, need some guidance, or genuinely want to help other people, and just, be there for other people and comment on, other people's questions and issues and problems and things like that. And so, building community is really important for all of us. So that's my goal for this channel, is just to offer guidance and information so that we can learn how to better navigate our life, because I think we're all pretty aware that the last few years have been so intense and insane and chaotic and transformational. We're in a very transformational year right now. 2025 is like transformational, not just for the collective, the world, but for us personally. And many of you may be noticing that things are different, they feel different, they look different. You're starting to lose friends or family, or you just feel like you're starting to notice that you feel a different way about certain people or certain things or your job or whatever it is. We're all going through that. We're all being pushed to look at ourselves a little bit deeper. We were never meant to suffer or struggle in our life, and we've been taught to do that. We've been just taught to survive, and we don't know how to thrive. Many of us do not know how to thrive. I didn't know how to thrive. Sure, we have a good time here and there, but we're not thriving in our lives in general. And so that is also my hope, is to teach you how to thrive and just grow with me, because I haven't been doing this for 20 years. And so while I've learned and researched and done the work on myself, and I know, and I've acquired a lot of knowledge through all of this, which is why I'm sharing it with you. I don't know everything, and I'm still healing, and I'm still growing, and that's never going to stop. So I guess I would say I'm sort of in the middle of my journey right now. And so the people that are just starting their experience of a spiritual awakening or a healing journey or whatever it may be, I can help you come up. That's what we do. We lift each other's vibrations. And when your vibration is higher, your life starts to get better. And I'll talk about vibration in another video, but it's important. So that is what I'm about. That's what this channel is about. And I hope that you'll follow me along with this journey and understand for yourself that this is something that you require or need in your life, or you just enjoy my content or whatever it is. But I hope that you'll engage with me. I hope that you'll reach out to me, and we'll go from there. Another thing I want to mention is nothing that I say here is religious in any way, shape, or form. There is zero religion. Sometimes some of it sounds like it's religious because that's just how we know it. Like if I talk about Jesus, I'm not talking about Jesus in a way that they would talk about it in any religion anywhere. It's just spiritually, so all of this is spiritual content. And to me, spirituality is just learning about who you are on a soul level and understanding what God, source, universe, or whatever higher power you call it. I want you to understand that we're all a part of that. We're all connected to that. It doesn't matter what religion you are, or if you have a religion at all, or if you believe in a higher power or not. I hope that you do believe in some sort of higher power, because you're not guiding your life by yourself. You do have a soul, and your soul is a higher power. Your soul is your higher self. But your soul cannot interfere with your human life, because we have free will as human beings. And so we can do whatever we want on a spiritual level, on a non-spiritual level even. We can do whatever we want, and they cannot interfere until you invite them in. Okay, if you want to connect with your higher self or your spirit guides or God or source or anybody, you have to invite it. You have to allow it. And so when I say, words like pray and Jesus and God and all of that, it's not coming from a religious standpoint at all. It's very free. It's very flowing. There's no limitations on it. It's just spirit. Okay. It's just straight spirituality, straight source, creator content. Okay. That's what we all need to get back to, is source. So, mainly because, too, we're in the times that we're living in, and just everything that we've been through in our lives, personally, and our parents' lives, and our grandparents' lives, and all the ancestors that came before us, we have to honor that. We have to honor ourselves. We have to honor what we've been through. We have to heal what we've been through. We have to heal what they've been through. And I'll talk about all of that later. But we can't do that without God, without Source, without Universe. We can't do that. Okay, you're just floating through life on autopilot, and we got to get out of that, because you're not going to get very far if you don't connect to your deeper self. So I hope you'll join me on this journey, and stay tuned for more content and videos. I love you all, and I'm so excited for this journey for us. Take care.